one of the oldest vehicles in Forza history is the slowest vehicle, unsurprisingly, up the hill climb for today. The Alfa Romeo XC90, dating back to 1932. It's a crazy thing. It has two engines strapped together to make, I think, 200 horsepower, which is pretty darn good for 1932. So it's a twin supercharged engine. Yeah, the diff was atrocious. The diff was absolutely atrocious in this vehicle, but yeah, it had two superchargers on it because it had two engines. It was a crazy machine. And truth be told, the lap time, the stage time fuel, wasn't that bad considering it's the oldest car we've ever run up this course. It wasn't terrible at all. So I was very impressed with the Alfa Romeo here. Obviously, it's not going to be challenging the Porsche 935 or the Bugatti Chiron, but for a car that's 80 years older than the Bugatti, that's pretty impressive. Now, I did have a very scary moment where I got on two wheels. You may have seen it there. It's a bit difficult to see because of the camera angle, but yeah, that was scary, going up on two wheels across the curve, and the hill certainly didn't help, so yeah, it actually wasn't terrible to drive. The only complaint for it is the differential. The differential might as well not even exist, because you will just spin one wheel around every corner, constantly. It's not good. It needs some work. I mean, come on, Alfa Romeo. But yeah, overall, pretty solid vehicle. You can see it again, more smoke from the one-tire fire vehicle as we go across the line with the oldest car we've ever tested. Now we go from a classic race car to, well, the opposite. The brand new Chevrolet ZR2 Colorado. Doesn't exactly scream performance, and it's an interesting vehicle. It's not that bad to drive. It's actually relatively decent handling for a truck. But as you might expect, it kinda struggles on the hill climb, mainly due to weights. It weighs out 2.5 tons. So, yeah, it's quite heavy. And, it struggles. It's not quite as bad as the Power Wagon, which is even heavier and has the same amount of horsepower. But, it's difficult, we'll say. It's very difficult. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a bad vehicle. It's, once again, a useless vehicle in Forza, somewhat. Hopefully have a video of it later, showing how it's not useless. But, in the meantime, I'm hoping for a off-road expansion with, like, rallycross tracks, because Forza has a deal with Red Bull Rallycross, a signed partnership with them. So, hopefully that means their first expansion pack is going to have, like, Hockenheim Rallycross, or Daytona Rallycross, or Linden Hill, or something like that. So, yeah, that would be cool. But, as of right now, the truck is, kinda useless, kinda not. But, anyway, actually doesn't look too terrible for a truck. I do run Weimer, the sign, once more. The sign's been getting mullered a lot recently, as the Colorado ZL2 goes across the line. This next vehicle is another large vehicle, the Volvo XC90R design. And it's a unique vehicle in Forza. You see, there's only 3 vehicles, including this one, in this game, that have this feature. In fact, this arguably has more than them. It's a very unique vehicle in this game because it has something I like to call triple charging its engine. You see, most cars have the gasoline engine. Some of them have turbochargers, superchargers. Well, this has a gasoline engine. There's a hybrid system on it, so it's a hybrid. But then the gasoline engine has a turbocharger and a supercharger. That is incredible engineering. It produces 400 horsepower. That's pretty good for an SUV. And the Volvo XC90 is not really a performance vehicle normally, but this Type R is actually not too terrible. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a bit understeery, mainly due to the weights and the four-wheel drive, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. It's not the greatest vehicle on planet Earth, but yeah, it's pretty good, you know? It's not terrible. And it is quite heavy. Like, quite heavy. They could use some weight reduction on this. I think it's like 4,300 pounds, which admittedly isn't very heavy for an SUV, but for this course, yeah, it's ridiculously heavy. Twice the weight of that Alfa Romeo. And we don't clobber the sign this time, and the triple charged SUV is across the line. Now, it's a sad day, my friends, because the next fastest vehicle, beating the Volvo XC90 triple charged magical machine, is a Lincoln Continental. I'm sad to say, but the Lincoln Continental is actually quite a quick car. It's four-wheel drive, 400 horsepower, and it's the same as the XC90, except for the fact it weighs 600 pounds less. So that's why it's faster. I know it's a sad day to see a Lincoln beat a Volvo, but it's true. It went faster. I'm not very proud of it, cause it's a Lincoln. It's basically Ford's version of Cadillac from 2002. It's not good. And the back end looks like an Audi that got copied by some Russian communists. It's not a appealing car, it's a boring car, it's four-wheel drive, you don't even get to slide around. But, I mean, it's fast for a car of this price, not really, but in this class, I guess it is, for luxury vehicles. So, I don't like this vehicle. If I was going to include a four-door in this pack, I would probably have, like, anything else, really. Or the old Lincoln, which is a big old boat, which is fun, but yeah, the Lincoln Continental, sad to say, is quite quick for its vehicle, which I never thought I'd see in my life. So, the Nissan 300 SCCA car is next up, and rear-wheel drive, lots of power, and it's not the craziest looking car in the world, but it is still very interesting. Not sure if I like it, but the back end looks a little funny. And it's a bit terrifying in some cases. Because yes, it's very fast, and very, very fast in our class. However, it's a bit wheel spinny in the lower gears, as you might expect. And on these uphill, slow turns, that's very difficult to manage. And these sections, it was quite terrifying. I was a little cautious through there. Probably could have pushed it a bit more, but it's such a fine line, especially with these crusts all around. That makes it, if you get the line a tenth of a second too late on the turn-in, you will go into the wall, or you will go into the grass. And I'm really pushing it here. I'm trying to go. This vehicle was I believe, the last vehicle to be driven by Paul Newman from the Nissan Motorsport Company. So, that was very cool. And, yeah, very interesting vehicle. Not very useful, but a very interesting vehicle nonetheless. We go from a pretty crazy Nissan SCCA car to, well, something even lighter, even crazier, and even more forgotten about. This is the Brabham BTR 45B, a 1977 Formula 1 car that never won a race or got a podium. But it did get fourth. It did get fourth. That's its highest place position. Never quite lived up to the expectation with a Ferrari engine in it, but it's very fast around the circuit, as you might expect, thanks to a Formula 1 engine V12 from Ferrari, designed by the Brits. It's very fast. Around here, it's terrifyingly fast. I didn't quite feel like I take that flat, like I lifted. I did a little bit of a lift, which I saw fire. Did that on both crusts. That one I was flat out on. Reached about 145 miles an hour out here. That's scarily fast for a rear-wheel drive car. And well, with this lightweight, this much power, it was terrifying, but it delivered. And it delivered spectacularly. It was very loud, very fast, and spit lots of fire. So it's a very cool car, I really like it. And, yeah, the crazy Bretman will go across the line. Now you're rightly wondering, what is faster than a classic Formula 1 car? Well, this is. This is a 1983 Jaguar XJR9. It's a mouthful and a half. It's the predecessor to the XJR9, which is a very fast Group C car. It is a Group 4 car. And it's absolutely mental. 750 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, just 2,000 pounds. And thanks to the fact that I did not lift on this corner coming up. It has so much grip, I did not lift on this corner. First car to go flat out around that corner. It was quite sketchy, but I did it. 178 miles an hour on that straight. It's not even a straight, it's a corner. 178 miles an hour. That's faster than most cars will do ever. Most vehicles on this list, over my entire 40 car roster, will not do 178 miles an hour flat out. And this will do it around a corner. It's stupid fast. It's a mental machine. And it's terrifying because you're so close to the walls and you're going so fast, but the Jaguar did make it. Now I will show you the run, or part of the run, with the telemetry just to see. It does struggle on this hill up here. I can only use 59% of the throttle, but once I get here, I'm 100%, still 100%, still 100%, turn 100%, and there we go, 175 miles an hour. It's just mental, flat out around all of those corners. And then you get on the brakes. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It just melts your brain how fast this car is. Cause it's like driving a Group B car in a way, because you get tunnel vision. You're just looking straight ahead, not just trying, and you see how fast you cross the line. 165 across the line. It's a ridiculous machine. Alright, on the times. First place will go to the Jaguar Group 4 Le Mans machine with a 1 minute 12.63. 8 seconds faster than the Porsche 935. That is, when I say it melts your brain for how fast that car is, I am not lying. It is an absolute monster. And second place next to it is the BTR 45B, 116.19. Remember, that is a classic Formula 1 car. Those things did the Nuremberg in under 7 minutes. And it got beaten by 4 seconds. It's a lot. And then you have to go a fair bit down into 6th place to find the Nissan 300 SCCA race car from Paul Newman with a 123.47. That's pretty respectable. It's not quite as fast as the Chiron, but bear in mind the Chiron has twice the power. And then you have to go a fair bit down to find our road car in the pack, one of the 3. The Lincoln Continental in 22nd place with a 142.1. Actually a pretty respectable lap time, unfortunately, for that Continental, which beats the Volvo XC90 R design by 4 seconds, so 146.4, pretty much. It's a bit sad that that incredible engineering accomplishment is beaten by a Continental, but yeah, that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. Too heavy. Then we go in 28th place with the Colorado ZR2 with a 149.7. Decent time for a truck, beating that Ram by almost 10 seconds. So pretty good showing on that part. And just one position lower is the oldest vehicle on the field with the Alfa Romeo HC2300. A 149.9 is the best that vehicle could do, which is a pretty good accomplishment considering it's got half the power of the ZR2. Admittedly, it is half the weight, but still half the power. And it is 80 years older. So pretty good showing from that vehicle. Pretty good showing from everything. Every vehicle today was in the top 30. that is pretty darn good, considering these vehicles range from the fastest of the Le Mans era to, well, the oldest of the Grand Prix. That is pretty darn good. It's quite a spread as well. So, yeah, this car pack, I understand why people don't like it, because you never race the Formula 1 cars or the R-Class cars. You never race them good. Everyone's just an idiot and crashed into each other at turn 1. But, yeah, I thoroughly enjoy this pack. I really like hot lapping in these vehicles. It's a ton of fun. And that Jaguar will just burn your senses. It's fantastic, and I'm hoping to get some good builds out of that Alfa and that Volvo. So yeah, pretty good pack in my opinion. I know your opinions vary because of truck problems, but again, hoping that Rallycross DLC, I hope is real, will fix that. But in the meantime, that is it for this episode of Forza Motorsports, and I'll be back with more.